evening, everyone. This is the regular meeting for the Community Development Commission. Today is Wednesday, August 28, 2024. So, seeing quorum, this meeting is officially called to order. Let's please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Vice Chair, do you want to help us with that, please? Madam Recording Secretary, please take roll call.
Commissioner Padilla,
Here.
Commissioner Cornelius,
Present.
Commissioner Rios, Commissioner Gallegos,
Here.
Commissioner Cejavilla. Thank you. We have quorum.
Thank you. At this time, members of the public might address the Community Development Commission regarding any non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the committee. No action might be taken on non-agenda items unless authorized by law. Does the public has any comments to wish to share with the commission? Please know that you have 3 minutes to speak. Okay. So we're going to move on to the consent calendar. This is the time for the commission to consider matters on their consent calendar. Items include items 1 and 2. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve items 1 and 2 on the consent calendar.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please take roll call. Or everybody approving, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, matter approved by unanimous consent. Okay, we're gonna move to the business calendar. We will now consider matters under the business calendar. We have one public hearing item, item number 3, consolidated annual performance and evaluation report for fiscal year 2023-2024. So we open, now we have a presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You're good.
Yes.
All right, great. So I don't think the microphone's working, but I'll speak up. So thank you all for being here. Okay, I'll use this one. I'll stand right here. Yeah. So thank you, commissioners, for being here tonight. Tonight, staff's going to give a brief presentation on our consolidated annual performance and evaluation report for fiscal year 2023. This is our 4th CAPER that we're going to be submitting to HUD. So we want to make sure that you guys are aware of what we're planning to submit to HUD, and hopefully you can provide a recommendation to City Council for approval. So as you know, the City of Santa Ana is an entitlement community, so we receive funds from HUD via 3 different grants. So that's the Community Development Block Grant, the Home Grant, and the Emergency Solutions Grant. So during fiscal year 23-24, we received a total $6.8 million to provide different services within each different grant. And you have the breakdown there on the slide for your review. So part of this process is, we had talked about in previous meetings, there's 3 documents that we create in order to move all of our grants forward. So the first one is the consolidated plan, which is a 5-year planning cycle. And in that planning cycle, we identify needs and we provide strategies to meet those needs identified in the 5-year period. In addition to that, every single year within the consolidated plan, we have to create an annual action plan for that specific fiscal year, letting HUD know what actions we're going to take to meet all of those needs and strategies that we identified in that consolidated plan. And then the last document is our consolidated annual performance and evaluation report, and is referred to the CAPER. This is our report card. So this is the way that we let HUD know whether we achieved all of their goals in our annual action plan and whether we're making strides to meet those identified strategies and goals in our consolidated plan. So the CAPER data. So the CAPER has reports, narratives, and tables contained in the CAPER. Their accomplishment data for fiscal year 23-24. The data is complied from quarterly reports that are submitted by funded agencies such as Public Works, Planning and Building, our Code Enforcement Department, and also by nonprofit organizations. All of you were part of the award process for public services for our nonprofits. So when they submit their quarterly reports, we compile all that information and we report that in our CAPER to HUD at the end of the year. So I'm going to go through every single grant and give you some information regarding those. So with the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, some of the eligible activities that are reported in the CAPER and the Annual Action Plan consist of capital improvement projects such as street improvements, sidewalks, or park improvements. We also provide funding for public services that could be targeted to the youth population, legal services, the elderly service, or the elderly population, or anything else that's related to public services. We also do housing programs. With the housing programs, we can fund down payment assistance programs, and we can also do a rehabilitation program for single-family residents here in our community. We also fund code enforcement every single year, so they do inspection in CDBG-eligible areas to make sure that people are up to code in their homes and that there's no health and safety issues that need to be addressed. And we also fund economic development activities. Some of the highlights that we want to demonstrate in our CAPER for CDBG, one of them is that we funded 4 down payment assistance loans over $480,000 through CDBG funds. So each loan was $120,000, and that was for low-income households. All borrowers must be the first-time home buyers. They must complete an 8-hour home ownership training. They must have at least 3% of the purchase price for the down payment, and they must be pre-qualified for a first mortgage and have a positive credit history to obtain a fixed rate first mortgage. And that's really important. We don't do adjustables. We always do fixed rates. That's really important to make sure that our home buyers are stable and they don't foreclose or default on their loans. So we completed 4 total for fiscal year 23. We also provided funding to public services. So we funded 20 nonprofits that administered a total of 21 programs that served 4,255 residents in our community throughout Santa Ana. So that's a huge achievement. We also funded capital improvement projects through CDBG, and we completed the Henninger neighborhood street improvement. So if you drive through the Henninger neighborhood, you see those beautiful streets that are concrete, that are brand new, they're super smooth, and they also have a cooling effect in the neighborhood because before they were all black tar streets, and when you have that black tar, it absorbs a lot of the heat, and it just doesn't make a very livable environment for our community. So we decided to go with the concrete, and I think it's working really nice. So that's a couple of pictures of the Henninger neighborhood. So that's it with CDBG. So I'm going to move to the home program. The purpose of the home program is to expand the supply of affordable housing for persons of low and very low income. Some of the eligible activities through the home is funding community housing development organizations, or what we refer to as our CHODO, for new construction of housing in our city. We also can fund single-family owner-occupied rehabilitation program. We currently have a contract with Habitat for Humanity, but not through Home. We do this through CDBG, but Home can serve the same purpose as well. We also can fund multifamily acquisition and rehabilitation of, let's say, hotels, motels. We could purchase them and then convert them into multifamily dwellings. And we could also provide down payment assistance programs through the Home program. Some of the highlights that we want to share to HUD are the 3 ongoing construction projects right now. The first one is Westview House Affordable Housing Project. This project will provide 84 housing units of affordable housing for large families. We invested a total of $2 million, over $2 million just in Westview House. The second one, the Crossroads at Washington. This project will provide 85 units of affordable housing for large families, and we invested over $3 million of HUD funding to this project. This project is almost complete. We're in the process of leasing up. And I believe there's 54 units that have been leased up so far. And as soon as we complete the 85, we'll also report that to HUD and close this project down. And then the last one is Weiss Place, Permanent Supported Housing Project. With this project, we are providing 47 units of permanent supporting housing to those residents of that community. And that's an ongoing project. Any questions so far? Kind of moving really fast. Okay. Last one is the Emergency Solutions Grant. The purpose of this grant is to assist individuals and families to quickly regain stability and permanent housing after experiencing a housing crisis or homelessness. Eligible activities include homeless prevention programs, street outreach programs, which our PD does on a regular basis. They're out there in the street engaging all of our homeless population, make sure that they're receiving the services that they need. We also can provide shelter services and rapid rehousing services. So there's some of the pictures of, variety of homeless activity that goes on. But the first one on the top left is engagement services when we engage encampments. So we just don't go in there and demolish everything. We make sure that we do this in a humanitarian way, and we provide social services or any other type of services that our population may need so that they're not out in the street for a long period of time. Through CDBG, we're going to report to HUD that during the fiscal year 23-24 fiscal year, we provided assistance to 1,250 persons through street outreach, homeless prevention, rapid rehousing, and shelter services. This number includes a total of 163 children that are out in our community that are currently homeless or experiencing some type of homeless crisis, 1,046 adults, 41 others that didn't want to identify, within those two groups. And then we have the breakdown of the genders there as well for your review. And the CAPER goes into more detail. We provided information regarding people who had disabilities, what the disabilities were, whether there were veterans, and we have some other statistical information in the CAPER, because I think that's important for future funding. So that's it with the Emergency Solutions Grants. So for fiscal year 23-24, the draft CAPER that you received as part of the agenda reflects numbers that were available in the HUD system as of August 19, 2024. The final CAPER will capture performance information from the fourth quarter that is not available today, and that's because we're currently reviewing the fourth quarter invoices and all the accomplishment data, and once that gets done, then it will be reported in the CAPER and submitted to HUD. Each table in the final CAPER will be completed to show the progress made in meeting the 5-year consolidated plan objectives. So what are our next steps? Our next steps is to have a 15-day public review and comment period, which we're currently in that period right now. It started August 19, and it will end September 6. This gives the community an opportunity to review our CAPER, to provide us with comments or any questions that they may have, and we could hopefully, within that time frame, address those questions or comments that they have. After that's done, we will take this to City Council as a public hearing on September 17. If they approve the submission of the CAPER, the draft CAPER. We will finalize the CAPER and submit that to HUD before September 30th of 2024. So that's usually the cycle that we do every single year, but we will always want to make sure that we give the public an opportunity to review all of our documents and provide comments for that. And that's it, the presentation. Do any of you have any
Thank you,
questions for me?
David. Any questions for staff? I'll start on my right.
Thank you.
No questions.
How about you, Vice Chair?
No questions. Thank you for your presentation.
I do have a few.
Sure.
I just, I just want to understand, this report, this evaluation report is pretty much to present to HUD of what we did with the money that we had, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we're just sending about all the programs that we implemented with the different money that we have. And then what was our goals and expectations and the number of people that we service, right?
Correct, for fiscal year 23-24.
Okay, awesome. And then, what happens with, I just wanna, I know I've been here for over a year already, and I just wanna understand, because the names of the reports are most likely the same. Moving forward, like when we get this money back again, then when do we review those programs or where that money is gonna go?
Sure. So every year around October, we start preparing what's called the annual action plan.
Yes.
That we'll bring to this commission so that all of you can review how we're going to spend our fiscal year monies, right?
For
So
the-
this, yeah, for the following year, for the following fiscal year. So recently, November, I believe we came to this commission and we presented our fiscal year 24-25 annual action plan that had detailed all the different activities and all of our funding sources. And all of you that included the public service awards as well. So we included that in the annual action plan. It went to city council, they approved it, and then we submitted it to HUD. So we're on our fourth CAPER and our fifth annual action plan. So as soon as the fiscal year 24-25 annual action plan is completed, we'll have a fiscal year 24-25 CAPER. And then that'll be complete, will complete the consolidated plan, that 5-year consolidated plan. Right now, we're in the process of creating the next consolidated plan that will be good for the next
For
5
5
years,
years.
from 25 to 29.
Are we gonna be working on that plan this year?
Yes,
Or
we're
until
doing
next?
that right now.
Awesome.
Yes, so we have a consultant that's currently working on that. And he's gonna have, or they're gonna have, I believe, a total of 4 to 6 community meetings to get the input necessary on letting us know how to spend that, the money that we get from HUD within those 3 different grants.
Great. Yeah, I would like to know about those community meetings, if you don't mind sending them to me when we have them. I know probably they're not on the calendar right now. The reason why I ask is because I've been doing a lot of review on CBDG funding for different cities, like how are they implementing it into the cities? And I do see a lot of other programming that I would love to hopefully see one day in Santa Ana. Of course, there's a lot of things that they're doing also for the business sector and economic development area. So I would love to see what our expectations are for the next 5 years, and hopefully just give a little bit of feedback of what I've been looking into for that specific money on CBDG, and see if we can implement new things for our next 5 years. That's why I was asking, because
That's
I wasn't
great.
sure.
So our community meetings are going to be held in the month of October. And I will let the commission know when those meetings are going to be held. They're going to be at different locations throughout the city. It will give our residents an opportunity to provide us with feedback, but also our commissioners, not only from this commission, but the different commissions and our city council.
That's
So
great.
if you want to see something different that wasn't identified in the last consolidated plan, hopefully your input can be implemented in the new one, and we can address that through the annual action plans.
Yeah, because I remember when I was giving input, exactly a year ago when we were reviewing it, it was already like kind of done. You guys were just giving us an update on how things were going and the goals that we were achieving and all that. So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss the new one that we're gonna have for 5 years. And in terms of outreach to invite the community for this specific meeting that you're gonna have in reviewing this report and the ones in the future, what are you guys doing for outreach in the community? Are you just putting it on our social media for the city? Or what are the efforts to try to attract more
Sure.
people and?
So for our caper that I'm presenting today, we're doing a few things. So we're posting the caper in 3 different locations throughout the city, which include our 6th floor, the 8th floor, city council, the clerk's office, and New Hope Library. So hopefully people will have access to that. It was also advertised through our social media accounts. But that's pretty much it, what we're going to do with the caper to allow the public to review that. We're doing something different with the comp plan. We're going to have surveys where we're going to provide that through our social media accounts. Because when we have meetings, the attendance is very low. So we're going to try to do something a little bit different. We're also talking about maybe going out to the train station where there's a lot of traffic and engaging people there and giving them the QR code so they can look at the survey and provide us with feedback. And anywhere where there's a high population of traffic, right?
I
So
love
we
it.
can get that.
No, I totally agree. I mean, for this report, it's understandable that it's just for comments and questions, but for the one coming up, I would really like to see more outreach to the community. I did a lot of work with the budget. They had that postcard with the QR code to do the survey for the budget, and I could identify that people really like that because it was not necessarily having to go to a meeting or, sometimes they're not available, but I feel like the survey idea, it's great, and I can wait to see it. So
Great,
I
thank you.
can participate myself. I don't have any more questions. Anyone else? Nope? Okay, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
presentation, David. Okay, so at this time, we would like to hear from the public. No, okay. So if there's no more questions, then do I have a motion to approve item 3, consolidated annual performance and evaluation report for the fiscal year 2023-2024?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Matter approved by unanimous consent. Okay, and now this is the time where we would like to hear from the public. Is there any speakers? No speakers, perfect. So we will now be closing our public hearing. And we'll move to comments from staff.
Sure. So I have 3 items that I would like to make comments on. The first one, we're pleased to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Commissioner Covington, who was honored by Councilmember Becerra at the August 20th council meeting for his exceptional contributions to our community. Commissioner Covington has nearly 3 decades of unwavering dedication and active engagement in our community, and he has we believe that he's made a difference, so we want to make sure that we recognize that. We also received notice today that he has resigned from the commission. Yes, he is making a move, so he wanted us to make sure that everybody here in the commission understood that he was very grateful for your participation and that he was very happy to be here assisting the city. So thank you for that. Second, we would like to kindly remind commissioners to RSVP for the upcoming Crossroads at Washington grand opening that's scheduled for Thursday, September 26th at 2 p.m. An RSVP was forwarded to all of you, but if you didn't receive it, please let us know. We'll be happy to resend it to you so that you can RSVP for that grand opening. Finally, we would like to provide an update regarding the request for proposals for affordable home ownership opportunities that was issued on October 19 of 2023. We are currently collaborating with Habitat for Humanity and Mary Erickson to develop a comprehensive recommendation for awarding funds aimed at creating new affordable home ownership opportunities. We currently have 6 projects that we are intending to award. We just have to finalize a few things before we bring it to this commission for your review and recommendation for approval. And that's all the comments I have.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna move to commission comments, so please start.
No comments at this time, thank you.
Mr. Gallegos.
Just one quick comment. Wish she was here to say goodbye at one last meeting, but Winston will be missed. Brought a lot of knowledge, brought a lot of history to many years in this city, and it's a voice that's really going to be missed here.
Vice Chair Cornelius.
I'd like to just reiterate the comments of my fellow commissioner. We appreciate the work that Mr. Covington did. I'll still call him Commissioner Covington, Commissioner Emeritus. He'll be missed. I wish him the best, Godspeed in his future endeavors. If staff could send that link to the RSVP, that'd be great. I may have missed that. And other than that, thank you all fellow commissioners for your work. Thank you for a very quick meeting today. That was great.
Thank you. I had the pleasure to assist to the city council meeting where Commissioner Covington was recognized. And I did share a couple tears, to be honest. It was a beautiful recognition. I had the pleasure to meet him through the commission, and then we became really close friends. And he did drop the ball that day saying he's moving. He showed me his new house outside of California, and it looks really nice. It's really close to Nashville, so I'm for sure gonna go visit him very soon, hopefully. But yeah, I forgot that I put a card together so we can all sign it, but I'll bring it our next commission. If you guys wanna sign it, it would be nice to just send it, and I have a picture that we all took here, so I'll print it out to be part of the card and just share my admiration and for his work in the city. I learned a lot about other things that he was doing for the city for a long time at that council meeting, so he will be very, very missed. So thank you everyone for bearing with me in my first meeting, leading this. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you all soon. Have a safe Labor Day weekend, right? It's this weekend. Yes. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. And I hope everybody goes and participates at Fiestas Patrias. I'm really excited it's coming back to the downtown itself, to the streets of the downtown. So I encourage you all to participate in Fiestas Patrias. Go and check it out. I'm gonna be part of the parade, so I'm gonna go say hi as part of all the businesses in downtown. So that will be it. With this, this meeting is officially adjourned, and the next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, September 25th at 4:30.